I'm going to take Akuma.
Oh, is he picking his own character? Is he about to tell us what he's playing?
I'm betting on myself. I'm going to play Kahn.
Oh, dude, nice.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Guile Treatment. We are joined once again by Bradley Townsley, who may or may not have called his shot.
Definitely called his shot. The first time ever. It's like he's Babe Ruth now. He's like a legend.
Oops.
And Tim Keefe, who knows a thing or two about Kahn himself.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening.
Yeah. Before we get
I
into,
guess we do have some news.
Yeah, we have
a little bit.
Yeah, we have a little bit of news. A new set was announced today. Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm gonna pull it up on the page here. It's gonna cover Rob's face a bit, so I apologize, Rob. I couldn't fit it in there properly.
It's okay. You can't see my grimace.
It's okay. So yeah, it's gonna be on the Jasco website. They actually have a rundown of all the characters and the set size. It's going to be 81 cards, which is fantastic. We're gonna have Yusuke Urameshi, Kazuma Kuwabara, Kurama, Hiei Botan, Byako Suzaku, and Rando, which I guess is one of the psychic temple guards or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. There's been some rumors, especially I've been perpetrating some of those rumors that Yu Yu Hakusho was going to be the next set in UFS. So looks like I was correct. But from what I've heard is this is not the giant set that they're the giant license that they're going to be announcing. It's going to be, I guess, in Gen Con was what the scuttlebutt's been. Yeah. So thoughts about Yu Yu Hakusho coming to UFS? Anybody?
I'm getting a lot of noise.
Is that you, Brad?
Yeah, as well.
I think we're getting a lot of noise from you. Like background noise. Is it windy there?
For me?
Yeah.
Not because I have my door open. I had the washing machine going.
Oh, okay. Hey, man. He got blood all over his clothes. Couldn't help it. He has to wash his clothes.
Did that fix it?
Seems that,
Yeah. Seems better.
Okay, that's what it was.
All right, thank you. Yeah, the cool thing about this set is that I know I loved the show back in the day, so I'm super excited for the license itself. But it's another 81 card set with, I guess like 9 characters, 8 characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 characters, so we'll have one back page, I guess.
Yeah.
So, which is pretty awesome because I know as a, I guess, tournament player, it's great to have smaller sets because I can get everything right away by via player kit or whatever. So, yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they do the player kit again with Ultra Rares or if they have some other sort of release.
I heard something funny about those 7 cross-player kits, though. I don't know if you guys heard that. If you bought a player kit, you randomly got 6 extra boxes added on.
What?
Yeah, there's multiple people in my area who ordered player kits, and they got 6 free boxes from the distributor attached to their player kit.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they got 12
That's wild.
boxes.
Yes, yes.
It sounds like distributors did not know what was going on.
I agree. So, yeah, which is really, really weird because, I did not get my 6 free boxes, but the guys in Chicago and some other guys did who also bought player kits. Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah, it's odd. Yeah. But anywho, I would love the player kit thing again because I'm just going to buy one outright because I said Yu Yu Hakusho's coming in. I'm buying my own player kit. So, sorry, Trent, I'm not splitting. Yeah. Any thoughts on it?
I'm excited for it. It's an anime I did grow up with, growing up as a kid, going home, watch Toonami, and there's that show. So it's something cool I'm familiar with. Mm-hmm. If I cannot spirit gun people into Bang, I'm going to be upset. That's something I'm going to be able to do. So that's going to be a flavor fail. That's not allowed. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a fun set.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I certainly watched it back in the day when I watched a lot more anime than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
My memory of it is obviously kind of foggy at this point, but I definitely remember feeling like that was of that group of shonen anime, that the DBZ and the Kenshin and the Yu Yu and whatnot. I definitely thought it was the best one. So, I'm happy to see that come to UFS. I mean, we were all speculating it for a reason. it's Funimation. It's the same time period as Bebop. It's also got an anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
And Jesco, for good reason, they always like it when they can have a set that's not going to require any custom art to be made. Even if Funimation comes back and says, hey, use a different scene for this, that is much easier than contacting your artist and saying, hey, change things.
Yeah.
So it's much easier for them to produce these sets on time.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if the so-called big thing is either an anime or something else that's sort of drawn a comic type thing or whatever. But yeah, this should be pretty good. It probably has a lot of overlap with Bebop in terms of the people that are fans of it.
Yeah, and then
so I don't know how many additional players it's gonna get, but you might have. You always have people that sort of liked both, but Yu Yu Hakusho is a little bit more of a fanboy type show where you see Yu Yu Hakusho on a shelf and you're like, oh my god, that show is so cool. Whereas Bebop's a show that people really like, but it's sort of something that I like a little more thoughtfully, and they're not there are people that are big fans and need to have everything spec spiegel and whatever, but there aren't as many of those as there are people who just really enjoy Shonen Anime X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know that we're gaining one player for sure because our store manager said, you guys get Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm going to need a copy of every staple in UFS. And I'm like, everything's a staple, man. You need 4 of every card. That's all you need to know. So he's already told me, he's like, I'm going to go broke. And then the store owner, he's like, Caleb's going to go broke now. So it's like the top cut joke that Caleb's going to go broke because Yu Yu Hakusho's in UFS. He doesn't even know how to play. So I have to teach him now. So there we go. It's bringing in at least one guy at least. So there we go.
Yeah, we always tried to tell people when they were excited about a future license, dude, just start playing now. If you start now, you're gonna have some cards that you're gonna end up using, and you'll know what you're doing when your favorite character comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I can say I know literally nothing about this. Never saw an episode. Didn't have Cartoon Network at the time that this was on Toonami, and certainly didn't watch it, back when, it was coming out in 92 to 94. I'm sure there were some kind of fan subs or whatnot. But yeah, so
I guess
as excited as I was about Seventh Cross is as indifferent as I am about this.
Yeah, so
it is on Hulu
right
now.
Let's see if we can remember as best we can, because obviously this was just announced hours ago, so we haven't really gone and really refreshed the memories. But so the premise of the show is that this guy Yusuke is basically a punk. He's a delinquent.
He's a jerk.
He has a delinquent friend Kuwabara, and he saves a girl from getting hit by a bus, gets hit by the bus.
Yeah.
And so as some sort of they weren't expecting him to do that in the afterlife realm or whatever, and so they say okay, you were going to go to hell, but we're going to give you a chance. You do some work for us. Instead of you weren't supposed to die, and you certainly were supposed to die trying to save somebody. So they give him a chance to sort of be a so-called spirit detective. And the first, I don't know how long of the show, but not much of it. He's actually investigating things in the real world, and then then they go right into okay, we need to get you trained by a master to learn to fight better. And there's an arc there where he has to be the top training candidate, if I recall. And then their first big mission is to some nightmare demon castle thing where there's a big baddie and some of his lackey baddies. And that's pretty much what's covered by this set. The part that everyone talks about is the tournament arc that comes a little bit after that.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I like the show, reason I think a lot of people like the show, is that when they do get to this tournament arc, because it's 5v5, it's a shonen, right? You know that the good guys aren't going to lose.
Well, yeah, of course. That's just the way that's just the way those things work.
The tournament arc is that because it's 5v5, and it's a shonen, so probably every match is going to go to all 5.
Yeah.
Some of the good guys are going to lose, and you don't always know which ones per se. So there's some actual intensity in the fights where you actually don't know if the good guys are going to win, because they might just lose that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's at least for me what made it fun, and I think that's why that arc's really popular. And of course, they're shonen fights, they're entertaining, etc.
Yeah. When if I remember correctly, this came on before Dragon Ball Z for Toonami, so this was like a perfect lead-in. It was still just like a brawl. It had more story than Dragon Ball Z. They still had fighting, but there was an actual storyline instead of Dragon Ball Z, which was I'm going to stare at you for 5 episodes and then fight you. This actually had a story to it, so I think that's why it may resonate more with people. Because
there's very little downtime. I don't remember anything really being terribly stretched out.
Yeah, exactly. Unlike in Dragon Ball Z, where you have like episodes of Hercule and Hercule and Hercule and Hercule, and it's just really bad. But yeah, anywho, I think I don't know. Is there anything else? I don't think really. I guess, like I said, they're gonna announce the bigger license at Gen Con is what the rumor is. So speculate away. I still think it's DC or MHA. So want it to be DC because I want to play Batman or Nightwing, and I want that badly.
Yeah.
So
if I had to put money on it, I'd say it's MHA, but it could certainly be DC. It could be. I mean, the crazy idea would be like a League of Legends would be huge. I'm just trying to think of things that are actually that big.
Yeah, because they're very, very on the nose about it, about how it's just like this needs to be right when it happens. But I know. But anyway,
it's Samurai Showdown, guys.
Oh, hey, Sam Show could be the first set of next year. I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal. But anywho, so I guess
worth pointing out that this sure looks like we're going to get 2 Yu Yu Hakusho sets. So it sort of makes me think that this next big license might be the last new license for a little while, and then they're going to back. I mean, they're probably going to do a second Soul Calibur set at some point. That would stand to reason.
Yeah,
I hope we get a second Street Fighter set.
Yeah.
That's something that they would certainly do well.
It's like having the Street Fighter license is such a sort of big deal, even just sort of historically for the game.
Yeah.
And the fact that so many of those characters are just completely unplayable, is rough.
Sure.
It would be nice to even if it's not all of them getting revisited, even if you do kind of half of them get a 2 dot, and then you mix it in with some of the other characters that from recent games Urian or
Karen.
I mean Karen, right? she didn't get a card in the last set, so stuff like that would be.
Yeah, there's probably really characters they got art for tactics.
Yeah, for UTS.
Some of the new stuff, right? Like Rashid. I think some of the
okay, so I guess moving on. We had a PTC this last weekend, obviously. Brad called a shot with the Blood God himself. Holy shit. It's a big deal. No one's ever really called their shot before because we've had them on after the show. I know we've had Tim on kind of before some things, but he's usually humble enough not to call his own number, and that's cool with that. That's just the way Tim rolls. But Brad had the audacity to call his own number. He was like, put it on my back, coach. I got this. So before we get into his deck, I want to tap Tim's knowledge. Let the good people know why Kahn is so good, and what does he want to do? What does he look for as in a deck? What do you look for to make him really shine?
So Koto's got a few things going on. So remember, we've seen Dejanette have recent success, right? And one of the reasons she can do that is this: she always has momentum thing. Well, Kahn has a bit of a similar line where one of his attacks is going to be a throw, and it's going to go to his momentum. So on offense, at least, he also always has a momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So whatever you're trying to do, whether it be slide shots, I know the life build that you played at Worlds had ring boomerang even, because that's big in him.
Yeah.
It can be a powerful on a moon set or whatever it is you're trying to do. Khan's going to have the momentum for it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the act of getting that momentum, he's also playing an attack that auto clears from his card.
Yeah. Hey, Brad, I'm getting a lot of feedback from you. I don't know if it's your volume. Sorry.
Is that better or what?
It's better. Thank you.
I think it might be the speakers going back into the mic.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, yeah, because it always stops when he's talking.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so he has the +2 damage on the 3 damage move thing,
Mhm.
and a lot of like the early builds or the first attempts at building Kotal, people get a little bit trapped by that because you don't really want to be all in on that ability and its vitality payment.
Mhm.
But so you kind of want to have this balanced mix of stuff that leverages the fact that you have momentum all the time and stuff that you can boost for the 3 damage. And in Soul Calibur, he got Forbidden Moonset, which uniquely in him, normally you don't get throws with gigantic powerful ratings, and even Kotal's making a throw ability says non-powerful attack.
Yeah.
Right.
But Moonset, you can make it a throw and then give it powerful 5.
Mhm.
And
it
so
makes its own momentum, so you can have easily 2.
Yeah. And so if your opponent ends up, allows you to get a couple momentum, which you can just get by, I mean, we'll talk about the list here.
Yeah.
Sun God Choke, Spinning Pile Driver.
Mhm.
Just you're at 12. Okay, I'm just going to kill you with a 23 damage moonset or something. And you can just do that with Kotal Kahn now.
Oh, for sure. Even like the slide shots could, pummel people to death too. That's like 21 damage. It's insane. Yeah.
At US Nats with less modern technology, I was doing a lot more slide shots kills.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna talk about something right there.
More people speaking with slide shots than anything. Slide shots is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Because you have so many other things you got to worry about. Then, like, all right, here you go. Have fun with this. Here's 3 attacks that you got to deal with, and they're all going to be huge.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Ever since Tim has played him, and I borrowed his list shortly, I think, after Nats for a Premier Store event and stuff. It's just, man, that character is just so awesome. He has a huge behind, so it's like you don't feel bad cutting 2 on like everything if you don't, if you really want to. I haven't had the chance to play with Sun God Choke yet, but man, I'm missing out. So, that's nuts, man. So, but yeah, so because right now, like I played the life build at World, so he lost some things with the rotation of Rise of Masters. Rest in peace, Ring Boomerang. But now I think it's gone back to what the Order build kind of was beforehand. Without the Deep Freeze Frosthammer package, it seems like it's with Forbidden Moonset's just more efficient in killing people because you don't need to stun out their board to do it anymore.
Moonset and Guilt Seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guild Seeker. I saw the Guild Seekers and I was like, ooh, that's rough. I was thinking about when I was talking to Will in South Carolina because he played the Grow that was there, and he had one game where like Grow went first, like built like 4 or 5 foundations. He built like 4 and had like 3 high blocks in hand, and he just went Guild Seeker, like 1 billion damage, and you're just like, all right, next game.
Yeah.
So seeing that in him, because I guess like what is it like? It gives, if it's like 3 or less, it gets +2, and then your next one gets +2, regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So for him, like if you can play something, use that, get the momentum, and so then the first Guild Seeker will get the +2 from that.
Yep.
And like it'll probably get +2 from itself, assuming that they don't have an asset by the time you're done. So yeah, I mean that's, and then obviously the multiple can get both, and it's just huge.
Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, a quick side note, I tweeted out about Brad being on the show, and I tagged a guy, MK11 streamer by the name of Mr. Aquaman, and he's a huge Kotal Kahn fan. Like he mains Kotal Kahn. He liked the tweet. I got kind of pumped. I was like, sweet. So yeah, dude. I don't know if he'll watch the show or for whatever, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of his. It's actually my first subscription to a Twitch guy, so I actually enjoy his stream. So check it out. It's at Mr. Aquaman on Twitch. He's really good. He's awesome at commentating. Rob can attest because he watched.
I did think he did the commentary
combo breaker, and he lost his voice halfway through, and he was still screaming. Kept going, man. Yeah, he looks like Ron Swanson. Has the mustache and everything. He's awesome. But we're not here talking about him. We're here talking about Kotal Kahn. So,
I actually have a question. So, I know you were running what, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of Demon Realm Awakening.
I ran 3.
How often did you make your opponent's attack a throw just so you could block it and take no damage?
Never. I actually never
Okay.
used it.
Well, that answers that question.
it was an option. That's one of the reasons that I put the card in the deck. One, it's good, and two, that Kahn could be a really good defensive piece because that's the only real defensive piece that his character gives you. Once per turn, make a throw, take no damage, but you have to have a few cards to make that work. Yeah. The main reason I used the card, I used to use it to pump my own attacks because all the keywords on it, or just use the DR on it to draw an extra card. My blocks wasn't lined up right. The +1 mid block wasn't going to do well. Well, your attack has gauge, EX, powerful, all these keywords on it. Let's just give you -X, and then use the DR in my foundation to go ahead and make that attack do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Did you ever make something a throw and then block it with Hephaestus?
No, but I did block with Hephaestus.
This guy's killing me.
I did that at Worlds against Tim, actually. I made something to throw, and he's like blocking with Hephaestus, and I'm like, fuck, you know your own deck too well. And I was like, yep, here it goes.
I know, like, I was sort of like presumed that he might be doing that, and then I know that obviously having all those cards was probably helpful against Dave.
Yeah.
As throwing loose, like, I'll make this a throw. It's like, idiot.
Or same thing with, like, was it Netherstorm has, like, 6 keywords?
We'll report later, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, the, was it Netherstorm has, like, 5 or 6 keywords? So it's like, cool, man, gauge 6.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's like,
Who wants to do that? You just lock it and take 1, and you're like, gauge 6? Don't care.
Yeah, I know. You can do it either way. It's fine. No worries.
So gauge 6, you just give it -5 damage. You just look at him like, all right, hit me.
Yeah. So it looks like, the foundation base, it seemed like that was mostly your defense. Like, since Kotal himself's he's really all the offense you need because he just pummels damage onto people and makes things throw. So why not pack a bunch of defense in your foundations?
My foundation base was a really good defense to me. I had the DR. The best foundations were probably my 3 diff foundations with Refusing to Let Go. God of Thunder was really big. Being able to ready that, just easy tricks like that. And then also one that I added late that I was really impressed with Resurrected Revenant. That card on defense and being able to pick up 2 perfect blocks was so good all weekend long. Because people look at me like, how many cards got me? I'm like, well, I've got 1. And then they're like, okay, attack. And then throw another attack. Then I pick up a card and they're like, oh. I'm like, here's a perfect block. They throw something else, and then they're like, oh, here's another perfect block. I'm ready and pick something.
Especially if you make something a throw, then seal him, then get Hephaestus and block with it. You could do that too. Yeah.
I mean, I played a pseudo boss battle with Ryan Pham on Sunday, and I was picking up cooling focus. He was playing Degenet. I was picking up cooling focuses, so he was Yamato spearing me. Then I would go to block it and be like, all right, take nothing, and just carry on after the multiple. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, did you want to do like a little bit of a tourney report, run through it? Like,
go for it, man.
Which rounds were
I do have one
played,
quick question before you move on. How many times did you pull in the Chaos Scissors?
0. So here's we talk about Chaos Scissors. I have 2 Chaos Scissors on my board. I was literally Friday night was crazy because I had to work late. The people were trying to coordinate people coming out of town to get dinner and all that. That all fell through. I didn't know this because my phone died. So I was like, well, I know where they're supposed to be at. Let me go to the car, charge it. So I walk in there, run some friends. Girlfriend meets me there. I didn't get back home till like 2 a.m. Got home and realized I don't have a sideboard. Start throwing things into my sideboard. And I'm like, I'm missing 2 spots. Let me look at my binder. And I look, I see Chaos Scissors. I'm like, whatever, this is fine. So I just threw it there. So if you're looking to build this deck for whatever reason, you do not have to get Chaos Scissors, people. It's okay.
I did that at a Nationals once. I had 7 cards on my sideboard, and I was like, hey, 7's all right, right? And they're like, it's 0 or 8. I was like, somebody give me any attack that has the all symbol.
Right.
I think I ended up with like a Cossack Buster. I don't know.
Yeah, every other card I boarded in at least once.
Okay.
The card I boarded in the most was probably Prepared to Fight. Usually the stops came out and the Prepared to Fights came in. You know, stops is a general like, okay, what am I playing against? I don't know if the committal is going to be worth it. That's what my thought process behind it was. But most of the time, I just go, okay, well, it's not good enough. The Cassie was really good, but most of the other matchups, I took him out and brought the prepared to fight. So.
Gotcha.
All right. Any other questions about the deck list before we roll into that?
What?
Oh, no, I was asking if anyone else had any other questions about the deck before we rolled into the tournament report.
No, I'm just noticing the similarities. I think if you're doing tourney prep and putting together Gauntlet, we've had 2 PTCs won by order Sun God, Choke, Moonset, Guiltseeker decks.
Like the Grow deck.
You're thinking about if you're thinking about what you need to test against, it should probably be on your list. Either Kodokan or Garo or both.
Cole Kahn, because Cole Kahn's better and he's awesome.
Yeah, the whole Sun God Choke was just really good because I've noticed a few things going in. That hand cannon has been a little bit on the decline because I haven't seen a whole lot of live characters trying to really abusing that. So I'm like, okay. And then I've noticed that there's a lot of 7-handers that are going around that are doing really well. Well, Turnless is doing well. Spike did well a while back. DeJohnette and then Raptor. And so if you put a lot of damage on a throw and say, here, eat this, and this is going to clear, and here comes something else, they don't last very long. No. They just roll over and die.
Yes, they do.
Even some of the breakers that Rapture give you, like, okay, my attack's clearing, I can play this other little foundation, don't carry the breaker, this is on a 6. Let's have fun. Going Moonset into throw, giving the Moonset powerful and throw, and then having that clear and following it with a Guiltseeker, usually set my opponent up way far behind every single week. That's just such a nasty interaction. You're taking away their best foundation. You're bouncing another. Yeah, it's not nice. It's very rude. And at the end of the chain, you just go, okay, well, here comes the slide shots. Have fun with this too. I mean, it does some dirty things. Like watch the Nightmare game. If we get the VODs up, you'll see that it was just a race sometimes. And you would hit me, and I'll turn 2 to say, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Even with, I'm thinking about like turn 2, like if you build just like 3 or 4, and you go like Guiltseeker, bounce whatever their best foundation is, get a momentum. Don't even worry about the powerful. Just go to momentum and then play a slide shots with multiple 2. Like,
yeah.
I want no part of that.
That was most of the fun at Worlds I had was just like, well, I'll play a Moonset with 3 foundations, bounce your best one, sweep it to momentum, play like something with ranged on it, and then ring boomerang them. Yeah, redemption. It would be like redemption, ring boomerang, multiple, and you're dead because that's just rude and awesome at the same time. Yeah. Cole Kahn's sick, man. It's just, he's one of those characters that I think people slept on in the beginning, other than just like Tim. And, then I got on the Cole Kahn train, and that's like, I think he's getting more followers.
Austin out in the UK.
Yeah. I was going to say Dan Austin.
Dan Austin loves him too.
I think he topped in
international. Yep, most definitely. Yeah,
he ran into that Quan Chi.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Cole Kahn's a beast. He's just easily one of my favorite characters from that set, for sure.
Yeah. I was thinking of taking Nats last year, and I had a deck I was comfortable with until Quan Chi got banned. And the Liu Kang matchup was just terrible for me. I couldn't figure out a way to win that matchup. So I was like, all right, we're switching. So he's still been in the bag, and I've still been playing with him. So I was really excited to take him out. One of the cool things about the deck that there's only the 3 mid attacks in the deck. They're the spinning pile drivers. Everything else is either high or low. So, and the thing about spinning pile driver, you're going to take damage off of it because, surprise, surprise, it is also a throw. So this deck just stacks damage and pushes it in just all these weird ways.
Surprisingly, its attack base is very foundation controlling. Like with the Moonset and the Guiltseeker and the spinning pile driver, it has a lot of like foundation control, which is something that most decks are looking for nowadays. Is that
Yeah, I think the decks. I think this Cole Kahn deck and Turn Loose are really very powerful as far as putting damage on things and controlling the foundation base. I mean, Turn Loose does it with his character, so it takes him a minute to get that going. Me, I'm just throwing big attacks and saying, okay, let's mess you up a little bit.
Yeah, I know. When I played Gutsman, I had like a little bit of that like high low mix up going as well, and like. When they're like big damage, I'm right. I mean, you could just win. You could just win games because your opponent was like, "All right, is it going to be high or low? All right, I'll hold like 2 highs and like 1 low, and then you just go like low, 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 and they're dead."
Mm-hmm.
Like, So
yeah, it's definitely fun just catching them, and you can set up like you don't care getting them the high block back with the moon set because you know that slide shots is the real deal and that's what you want to kill them with later.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of play mind game for that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's like here's a high block. Go ahead, block it. I don't care.
Go ahead, man. I don't care. Yeah, because like especially if you're moon setting and you're sweeping that to momentum, you are throwing all lows. It's just like I don't care, block it, waste a card. Who gives a shit? Then it's just like you play like Guild Seeker and then something else, and you just murder people left and right. It's awesome. You just like sacrifice them to the blood god. It's great. All right, so you want to go into your tournament report?
Yeah, first I get pouring into tournament report. Big shout outs to Panda's Paradise in the store under Dave. He hosted the event. He was there open early for us. Everything set up. We had a great time all day. Everybody I talked to said that just was clean. It was fast. We had a really good time. Second shout out is to Ryan Pham. That man was a hero. He had bad luck. His flights were a little crazy, but shout out to him. He was a real champion throughout the entire weekend. And, Jason, get him a raise if you watch this, all right? he did something. So we went to round one. Round one, I played against Hot Rod, old Rodney Garland from Louisiana, playing Goro. Goro was pretty easy for the most part. I knew what he was trying to do because we literally built his deck before the tournament. Sorry, Rod, but
hey, that's the hazard, man.
And he gets paired into me, and I'm like, this is not going to be fun for you. You're forehand size. I'm going to throw multiple attacks, and I know what to play around. The worst thing that he was really doing to me was putting Big Cyclone in his card pool. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. I can't do damage. Let me just do something else and then pass. So I 2-0'd him. Go into round two. Round two, I believe, give me just a second, check my notes.
Madness.
They still
I wrote it down.
Spoiler alert, they still died.
They still died. Actually, this person did not die.
Oh.
I played against Barry Everson. He was one of my draws on the day playing Cassie Cage.
Okay.
Cassie Cage is kind of a tough matchup because she can just do things a lot fast. She rebuilds her foundations pretty quickly, so the foundation hate is not as good against her.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just blow her up out of nowhere. Controlling the Shadow Inheritance in that matchup and against Cassie Cage in general is where you're going to try to win that game. But she also gets the high season stuff too. That really makes you have to play a lot of differently. I won game one. He turned around and wins game two. Then we go to time in game three, and I wasn't able to kill him. He wasn't able to kill me, but I got revenge on that one. We'll come back to that one later. Next one was Don Hartfield, one of our local guys. Barry's also one of our local guys. He was playing Selenka. Beat him up game one. Game two, he saw 3 Moondish rituals in a row. So I was just like, well, I'm just dead here. And then game three, talking about a nasty turn, I went Sun God Choke into Moonset into Guild Seeker, Guild Seeker, Guild Seeker multiple. And he just died.
Oh.
What?
Oh. Did you physically rip his heart across the table and you were like holding it to the sky? Because that's what it feels. That's what it sounds like. You ripped his heart out right in front of him.
I did not. It was just rough. Game one I was kind of in control and had to change some things around. Game two he was still, but that game was it was gross. And then it was like a turn 3. I just said, okay, you're done here. I'm done playing.
Oh.
Awesome. It was relatively quickly. Then we went to lunch.
Did you go to the Indian place?
We did not get a chance to. They were closed because we took lunch a little bit later. Nobody was hungry, so we just said, we'll just wait until after round 3. So we went to lunch. We all kind of went to lunch together. Besides Corey Aguilar, let me tell you something about Corey playing Dejanet. If you go back and watch the stream, round 1. Their game 1 was 50 minutes long, him and Ben Shoemakers. It was so
Ben must have been having like flashbacks.
It was
again.
So it was kind of funny. And then while I bring that up, going into the lunch round 3, he's playing Dave Wagner. Everybody's getting ready to go to lunch. We go by and say, hey, we'll see what's wait on them. We look at their board say, and there's like 15, 20 foundations on each side. and both of them have high love totals, we'll say, hey, call us if y'all want anything, we'll bring it back. Because we knew that would take a while. So after that, then I played Thomas Raw playing Nightmare after lunch. Nightmare is just a straight up race. I mean, the way he had his build off evil in the cards he was playing, that was just okay. He can hit me just as fast as hard. And some of my best defensive pieces, like using my blocks and stuff, he gets to bounce back this card to his hand once per turn and then throw something else again. So picking which one you block and when you block. And also, if you even do block the first one, because if he's trying to attack multiple times, if you don't block the first one, gives him DR or something, now all his rest of his attacks are on plus one difficulty. So it's just kind of something I've learned playing Nightmare, make it a little bit more difficulty in taxing, which also helped out a lot against him because he did check that a few times, and I was able to beat the game one. I won, and then he was on the play. He was on the play again game two because he was on the play again game one, and he just blew me up turn two, game two. Just that's on strings, and I was just like, okay, I'm dead. And then game three, I just returned the favor right back to him.
Yeah, I faced a Nightmare at Worlds, and it was one of those instances where it's like, well, it all depends on what kind of attacks they're playing. Man, if they're playing From Hell, you better be able to block it twice. You don't want to die like really fast or whatever. So
From Hells, Fatal Violets. There was just so much nasty stuff in there. And then he also had a little bit of foundation with the Disarm the Vicious card, where it flipped. He was playing that too. It was a nice lead in and Demon Grab. So the deck was really sweet. I'll see the list when it comes out. Then round 5, I did not have to play because me and Bo Tucker looked at one another and just said, "You want to draw? Do we really want to play? Or just want to Rax because we're going to the top 8." So I don't know how the Heidi matchup would work, but I think I can blow her up quick enough before she assembles the robots.
Yeah, I think you could too.
Yeah. I would like my odds in that match as Kodal.
Oh, for sure.
So
I'm sorry. That's why Heidi's not actually good, because you'll win a bunch of matches for free, and then you face Kahn, you're just like, well, hope I solitaire real good, real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely did work in the Swiss rounds, and the entire time I kept winning games. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I here? We get to top cut announcement. I knew it made top cuts, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be like the 4 seed, something like that. No, I was the 2nd seed going to top cut for 302 record. I was like, I'm gonna be on the play every game besides against Corey, who was Swiss champ playing Daytonette. I'm like, cool. I look really smart right now because I think Daytonette will kind of win the tournament.
And I have the notes, and he did. It's right here, everyone. It's right there.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, man.
Top 8, I played against, first round top 8, I played against Thomas Raw, the Nightmare player again. And just that game was the same way as it was in the Swiss rounds. I get game 1, he gets game 2, blow him up again on game 3. Like I said, that is just a race. Not much play that matchup, just kill him fast before he can. After that, I played against Barry Epperson, playing against his Cassie Cage deck again, and got him game 1 again. Game 2, he gets me. That one took a little bit longer. And then game 3, grinding back and forth. And then finally get a turn where I'm going on a kill and think I can kill him. He looks at me and says, well, you have 2 cards in hand? We get 2 attacks because if you do, I'm just dead. I look at my hand, I have 1 orange card, and it's a slide shot. So I'm like, well, technically I only have 1. And then I just play the card. But yeah, that's good enough to get it. And I said, okay.
That's where you go, technically I have 3, but you only have 2 cards. I got 3 in my hand, kid.
I only had 1 momentum at the time.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
I was moving things around. And then, so got past him, and then the biggest reason I won this tournament was because of Dave Wagner knocking out Daytonette. I played against Corey Daytonette deck.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not a good matchup.
I was going to say, that's got to be brutal, because he can just sort of wait, and as soon as you're like, all right, I'll play this in R, and he's like, no, you won't. Cool.
Yeah.
It's like, you can play that again, and it won't be a throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really baiting them to use it when you want them to use it. It's like, I don't care if I give this throw because I'm going to throw my other throws at you, and then might throw the moonset at the end of the chain and then try to hit you really hard with that. So that's what I found with that matchup. But it's still rough. It's still difficult. It has all the good defensive pieces that all gives with High Seas Adventures, things like that. So me and Dave's game, round one, took forever. He wasn't killing me very fast. I wasn't killing him very fast. And the reason why I wasn't killing him very fast is because if he tells it, he'll say he threw like 7 attacks, and off those 7 attacks, I took 7 damage from them. Between them giving throws and me using like I have the asset, the Elk Sword and Omega Shield in the deck that takes 1 damage. I had the other Foundation block and throw take 1 damage. I had the bunch of DR on board, everything else. It just wouldn't kill me. Then finally, I rip a turn, just rip 5 attacks. There's 2 Guild Secrets and 2 Moonsets. I look at him and say, "Is this good enough to kill you this turn?" After I throw an attack, he's like, "Yeah, we're done." Then we go into game 2, and then game 2, I thought I was going to lose. Dave he went off super fast on his turn 2. After he flipped my entire staging area, and I'm like, well, this is not good. A couple of my best defensive pieces are now not useful. So how am I going to win this? So I draw my hand, and I'm like, well, he has 20-something life. I can one more best. To check the 3 on my first attack, and I was like, well, that's not good. And I was like, well, I'm pushing.
Doesn't matter, they're all face down, just tap out.
Yeah, I think it was the Sun God. So the biggest thing I got to watch when I got to tap Kahn is the biggest thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Because I haven't used the throw yet. So I'll go like Sun God Choke into something else, and then go into slide shots, and then just pump the damage on the slide shots. And he reversaled me sometime in there too. That I took the damage that I failed the block, which was really key because he blocked with a character card, Announce Breaker, and then he had the minus check with his character as well, using the Turn Loose. And so I got to eat that one with that, and then probably my next one, I think it was the slide shots on a 5, and then multiple 2 out, and then just hit him with that. So and that just ended the game quickly. It was just like a turn 2 kill shot, just out of nowhere. And it was a really fun game. And Dave would say, yeah, this was so rough uphill battle because you have like 7 pieces of throw hate.
I heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
Then you bring in 2 prepared to fight out the sideboard. So it was just, that was an uphill battle for him, but I really enjoyed playing Dave. We went out with the Atlanta crew and some of our guys to the casino afterwards and had a good time just sitting around talking and win a little bit of money. So it was a good time after that.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I was.
I know.
Oh, go ahead.
I watched a bit of the stream, which always nice to have a stream.
Thanks, Don.
I know.
Yeah, thanks,
for the
Don.
finals,
Thank you.
There was something, and I went to do something. I don't remember what it was, and like we just come back, and it's like, and it was just like, we'll like notify you this back up. I was like, well, I guess it's over. And someone goes, hey, what happened? Like I thought Bradley was like just about to lose. It's like, nope. Nope, he won 2-0. So yeah, it was definitely a very, very rapid and aggressive turnaround. It sounded like so.
Yeah,
you have to go watch that VOD.
Yeah, I thought I was dead that game too. I was like already in my mindset, like, well, I'm gonna just go as hard as I can and see what happens, and then just be ready for game 3 because I didn't think I really had a chance. And turns out I did have a chance. And just going back to game 1, game 1 was such a slow grinding game because he also had Voices in the Dark. If you're not playing that card and it's on your symbol, you need to look into it because it also hits Spell Circle, shuffling back the deck. They can't get it back, boys and girls. Pro tip. And he also hits a lot of Polacon's momentum. And you're just like, ugh. And then he also has the High Seas Adventures, and he had another card that I had to deal with as well. So it was a lot of hate on his foundation board. So I would just start off the turn like, okay, here's a Moonset. Give a throw and just start chipping him away with all these throws. And then when he got low enough, enough cards in hand, he was also low on his deck too. He's already cycled once, so he's still cycling again. So all I had to do was survive and grind that one out or get the win. So I just kind of leaned on him until he died in this game 1, which was a little bit more interesting to FS and the defense that I played.
Yes, but you are the first man to call a shot. That's all I've been thinking about all day. You were the first man.
So what were who got points then, huh?
Oh, so are we done with the tournament report? Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Oh no, no. This is a good time. I'm thankful for everybody that was able to come.
Mm-hmm.
I know it wasn't as big as we were hoping for, but with everything going on, I'm okay with it. And maybe good news was spread Mississippi PTC for next year, and we'll get a bigger crowd.
Oh yeah, it can only go up. You know, like 20 is not. I think the Rockford PTC, the very first one, was like 21 people. So, and
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys will
and
grow.
the thing is,
It won't be an issue.
I know. When I sort of saw like, you know, they were like starting top cuts, and it was like, you know, like 8 o'clock or something, like East Coast. I was like, man, they're starting like top cuts at like 7. I was like, dude, I totally could have gone. They're gonna finish tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
When I was looking at flights, I was like, I could do this, but I totally need to like be on the flight home at like 11 a.m. on Sunday, so I'm just not even gonna bother.
Okay, so
maybe next year.
So only 2 people got points this week. No one got attendance. We all guessed over. So but
Chris had that opportunity to go for 1.
I should have went with 1, man. I should have went with, now I'm in a 3-way tie for first. It's horrible. So obviously Brad called his shot with Kahn. We all know that. And Barrett got a point for no diversities. I guess there were 20 unique characters at this event.
Yeah, there was no chance of diversity. There were no doubles.
So, no doubles or anything. So so as it stands, the current scoreboard, myself, technically Barrett's first because alphabetical. So he got 7 points. I'm in second with 7 points. Guests are third, 7 points. And coming up in the cellar, our dear co-host, Rob Snyder's 6 points. We appreciate you holding us all up at the bottom of the pyramid, kid. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Hey, just because I pick fun characters that people don't want to play, like...
I mean, like, you picked Turn Loose. You came in second. You were so close. Again. Eventually, he's going to win one when you don't pick him. You know this, right?
Right how it's going to happen, yeah.
That's what's going to happen, yes. So, that's pretty much it for PTC and some big news. We had a Premier Store event over the weekend in Chicago. I changed my deck 3 times the morning of and went with Lord Raptor. Got my ass handed to me multiple times.
I saw you just like creeping in the background of like the winner's picture.
Yeah,
look at Chris, man. Like he didn't even win, and he's still just like, I gotta be in that picture though.
Yeah. No, because I was actually right behind him, like taking down the recording setup, and I'm like, I'm getting in it. I don't care. I'm photobombing him. But Rob Newman won with Zhanghua. He beat the shit out of everybody, man. It was insane. But he did face Nick Mecchia's really neat Ivy deck. It was playing like an all weapons build, so kind of thinking like Yoshimitsu that can draw way more cards and live longer because she just gains a lot of health. So their video will be up sometime this week. I'm gonna be posting those videos at 7 o'clock at night this entire week. So time of recording, they've been over. So there's one that I'm having trouble downloading. I think the file may be corrupted. That was Guile versus Ivy, which was kind of neat. The Guile deck was really cool. I think it ended in a tie or something. I don't remember. But we do have a video of Trent playing JT against JT's staff character, and it is hilarious. And it's going to go up, and it's going to be great because he like kills him in like 10 minutes. It's great. It's hilarious. I was the only one to take a game off of JT all weekend. And yeah, that was great. I think I forget who I was playing, but I took 1 game off him. But anyway. Yeah.
This card's so fair. How come? Like
it's awesome. Like he was like,
I think Jesse Cervini beat him at Worlds for his staff card. Yeah.
Oh, sick. That's cool.
I might be wrong, but I watched that match and I feel like Jesse managed to win.
Okay.
It was the Solomel versus other reversal characters.
Ooh,
quite messy.
Yeah, that is kind of messy. So
you attack. No, you attack.
No, you attack. So don't forget, everyone, pre-register for the Rockford PTC. I guess since I've been told that this set is the July set, the Yu Hakusho, and it will be pre-release weekend at the Rockford PTC. So we'll be having a pre-release, a teams sealed box battle that Sunday. So you get...
Oh man, that's like extra Yu Hakusho flavor, right?
Yeah, it is. I even thought about that. And I'm like,
We need 5-person teams.
Okay, you know what? if you can help me figure out how we can do that, I think we may do that. I think we can. I think we could do it. We could probably pull that off, Tim. I think we can. But since we know that Yu Hakusho is the set, I'm going to be in touch with Jasco about getting special teams winner playmats for first place. That's it. That's all you get. That's first place gets 3 playmats for the team, or 5 if we do 5v5, because that could be a thing. But yeah, to pre-register, just let me know. Personally message me on Facebook or message the YouTube channel. Save yourself some money. The playmat pre-registration is done and over with. That was last Friday. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys.
If you didn't pre-order one and you want one, big top 4.
We have a special UK Champ Card preview happening this Saturday.
That's right.
We have Mike Hardiman. We have Dan Austin. We may have Grant Padley with the softest hands in the world. We are seeing Mike's character and his abilities and their United Kingdom of Smash card. There is a rumor we may see another Champ card, but that is debatable. I'm not sure yet. There's one more UK Champ card we may get to see, but I'm not sure. I think Dan's working that out with Ollie and Rio, so we're not sure yet. But I'm not sure if we're going to live stream that or we're going to record it. So I guess it's just going to be a spur of the moment thing, and that will probably be sometime in the later part of the afternoon in UK, morning here. Probably like 10, maybe 11.
You could do another live stream, right?
I think yeah, because I won't do a live stream this week, so we should do a live stream Saturday morning. We should, yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Give me something to listen to on my way up to Cape Cod.
Oh yeah, do you have a premiere Saturday?
Yeah.
Awesome, that's great.
I might play Order Cool. I don't know. I'm bouncing between different things.
Do it. That
looks really fun.
I am having so much trouble picking something for the PTC because I like Cassie, but then I see Brad's list and I'm just like, oh, Kotal. Then I have Taki. Then I'm just like, oh, I want to play Taki. And it's just like, I can't think of. I just want to play everything. Can I play something different every round? I think that'd be sick. Do like a chaos round thing.
You have to make like a custom event where you have to register a list of decks.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Dude, just call Garrett and be like, hey, I need one of those decks where my sideboard is like 7 different characters and I just roll a die and that determines if I play in game 2.
He's done that before. He did the Atlanta PTC.
Yeah, I know. I lost to that deck. He rolled his die and was like, oh, guess I'm playing game 2 as Jiffany. I was like, this is fair.
If you build Kahn and Taki off Evil, you can side the other one. So
that's also
there's an idea for it.
Yeah, that's also true. But order's so much. You get Moonset though. That's like the big thing. Moonset's the kicker right there. You know.
That is a powerful card.
Yeah.
Think of it. Go back to the PTC real quick before we do anything else.
Sure.
There were 2 super cool decks at the PTC that I really enjoyed watching play.
Mm-hmm.
One was the Yamato Man deck. When that deck list comes out, that's going to be super sweet and let everybody see that one. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. It was a really cool deck to watch.
Cool. I was really excited to see him topping.
Yes, it was a really cool deck list. And the second one that was cool was actually the Plant Man list. So the Plant Man was doing kind of a similar thing with Moonsets, but not really. Their biggest thing was building a lot of snap momentum, giving the Moonset speed, and then power form with all that momentum. And so it was pretty nasty as well for some matchups.
Cool.
That's kind of like the old Plant Man, the one that Sunman had with whatever the Natali card is.
Oh,
Hellgate
Executioner. Hellgate Executioner. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I mean, obviously Moonset making its own momentum is pretty helpful.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful. Yeah.
So speaking of champ cards real quick, if I can ask this question, Tim, how good are your champ cards if they're stacked together?
They have no particular interaction with each other.
You
would have to build your deck around one of them. And then the second one is kind of helpful, but
is it kind of just like Spike 1 and Spike 2?
It might be a little bit better than that just because.
Oh, there you go. You heard it right here. It's Tim Keefe, 2 and 3. Better than the Spikes.
The abilities are, they're not more generic than Spike 1, but neither one of them is as particular as Spike 2.
Sure,
right. So.
Sure. When we see those cards, when we see those cards, Tim, you going to be showing those cards off anytime soon, Tim? Or
if I ever get word, once I hear from Jasco that they're off to print and I'm allowed to show them publicly, then probably. But you never know with these things if, like, at the last minute, Jason might come along and say, like, you know what, I'm not really comfortable with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Yeah. How? What is this? This batch is what? 12.
12s. Yeah. From what I heard, is that 2 got added in late. That's why it's pushed this champ batch back a bit. That's why it's
because they're supposed to be legal in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And if they're not off the print, that's not going to happen. So
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really bugged fam about an update.
And then there's a big question: does champ batch, I think 4, right? Is that the one that rotates?
Yeah.
Is that one still legal until the new one comes out? Whatever.
I assume that. Just let it rotate. I said it was going to rotate.
Yeah,
if you need to rotate the next one on August 1st, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. So, I think that's it. It's about an hour. Brad, congratulations, man. Super hype.
Where are you gonna use your plane
ticket?
To go
where are
to
you gonna use your plane ticket?
I mean,
you come to Rockford?
Pretty much drive to Nats.
I can drive to Nats, so I'm not going to Nats. I was thinking about Rockford this year, but I checked the dates, and the girlfriend says I have you this weekend, so you can't do anything that weekend. I'm like, okay. So it leaves me the 2 options: save it for Worlds next year, and hope to snag the Slidell PTC coming up in a couple weeks. That's early August, and Slidell's 45 minutes away from where we live at, so it's just a car ride over, and we can just play that one. Or I'm thinking about maybe doing Omaha this year. I hear that one's a pretty live PTC.
So that's probably going to be a sweet PTC. My experience getting to Omaha is like Odysseus trying to return from Troy. But, other people have better luck, I guess.
So, yeah. Well, I'll find out, because when I look at PTCs, you have a bunch of ones that are kind of smaller, but your big 3 are Rockford, Atlanta, and Omaha. And if you can hang at those and do pretty well at those and feel confident at those, when you turn around and go to World and Nats, I mean, you got some confidence, you got some momentum. And Omaha one, I think it's early October, which is before
it is the last weekend in September. So yeah, pretty much early October. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like good testing ground to figure out what I might play. Figure out if I want to play this or audible last minute right before I go to Nats.
I mean, honestly though, just don't do if you find something really, really good,
just don't play it.
Don't play it at that last PTC.
Don't be Big Johnson. Don't play Maxi and get him banned the week before Worlds. Just don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't play a deck that someone's going to want to copy for teams and then play in singles.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tim, thanks for coming on at last minute. I know I messaged you earlier this morning and you were gracious enough to come on. Rob, always good to see you too. We're trying to get more of the Retro Versus series coming with different Versus system decks, because me and Trent only have 2, so whenever I get a hold of Scott and they mail me my decks, we'll have more decks. But keep a lookout for more DBZ, Naruto, Yu Yu Hakusho, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do some more Yu Yu Hakusho for get everyone familiar with the characters right before the
there you go. Considering I play only the good guys in that game, so I have Team Urameshi, so I make everyone else play the bad guys because whatever, it just is what it is. So anyway, that's what.
I said it's all Greek to me.
It's all Greek to you. Yeah. Oh, also, Yu Yu Hakusho is on Hulu right now. If you have Hulu, you can watch the entire thing. So, you can watch it subbed.
All what, like 112 episodes or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You only really need to watch till the end of the Dark Tournament.
Yeah. It gets kind of wonky.
The part after that's okay.
Yeah. I
actually stopped watching in the final arc because it started to feel like DBZ. They were blowing up mountains, and I was like, all right, I'm kind of done with this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like DBZ blows up planets with in the first 50 episodes, so whatever. Just the way those Saiyans, those cheeky guys, they're so hilarious. So, I guess we'll do a show next week. I know me and Rob are gonna be looking for something to talk about because it's gonna be kind of like a little bit of a downtime because there's no PTCs. Maybe we'll get some previews. Maybe I'll try to work out. I'll try to work out another contest. Maybe we'll get some stuff. Maybe I'll pony up a box of Yu Yu Hakusho for a contest if we don't get anything from Jasco. So we'll do that. Do the same kind of thing. Everyone enter in and all that fun stuff. We're close to 500 subscribers. I want to thank all you guys again. We're so close. We're 45 away. We're close. We're halfway there. We're almost there, kids. But yeah, so that'll be it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and take care of each other. We'll talk to you later.